is Tasha here. In this lesson, I will be teaching you guys the Colosseum. And the supplies that I will be using, I have regular white paper, a pencil with an eraser, a black marker. It does not need to be Sharpie. I have a handheld sharpener, and I have colored pencils, but I'm actually only going to be using 4 colors. I have a purple, a goldeny yellow, a red, and a brown. And you guys can use whatever colors you want. These are just the colors that I'm going to be using. And if you don't have these same supplies, you don't need to worry about it. You can still follow along. You can still make this picture. Just use whatever you do have. If you're using crayons or markers, or if you want to use paint, you can. I'm really excited to teach this to you guys, so let's get started. So to get started, you guys are going to be using your pencil. I want you to keep in mind that if you draw lighter and you make any mistakes, it'll be a lot easier to erase them than if you're drawing really hard. I'm going to be using my marker just so that you guys can see it better on the screen. And then I'm going to, in this bottom left corner, it's kind of like a sideways L, sideways backwards L. And then I'm going to draw a line here, and my lines are a little curved. Yours can be curved, they can be straight, that's up to you. It's a rectangle here, and then we're gonna put a skinnier rectangle on top. We're gonna have a line going through the middle, and then right about here, we're gonna draw a diagonal line going up. I'm gonna bring this over, it's curved a little bit. This is gonna go to about the same as our line here. And then I'm gonna have another rectangle. I'm gonna put another line in the middle, and if I'm going too fast for you guys, remember you can always pause me. And then we're gonna move over a little bit again and do another diagonal line. Another line going up here. Curvy rectangle on the top with a line through the middle. And then our last layer up here. We're not gonna go to the edge because we're gonna have another diagonal line. And then up here, I want you guys to make this diagonal so it sticks out a little. Come straight up here. It goes across and a line in the middle there. And then right here, I'm going to draw a square. I'm going to make that stick out a little. And then next to that, I have a rectangle. You can see it's kind of on the same line as that one. Draw a line in between. Line coming down, going across. And then right here, I have a line coming up. Lots of squares and rectangles. Rectangle up top with a line in the middle. And then right about here, we're gonna come up about that much. So it's a little bit higher than this. And then I'm just gonna curve it a little bit this way. Gonna put a straight line down. Gonna connect it on the bottom. And then up top here, I'm gonna do the same thing I've been doing. So it's got 2 lines up here. And I'm just gonna draw a line here so it looks like you're seeing the side there. I'm gonna do a line here. Same thing here. Same thing here. And then after you have that, about at the bottom of where this line is, I'm gonna draw over here. I'm gonna do some dashes And I'm gonna get kind of skinnier as I get to the edge here. So wider dashes over here and skinnier dashes at the end. And then on each of those dashes, I'm gonna have an arch. And my arches are gonna get smaller as I get to the end. I'm gonna have 2 rectangle windows up here. They don't have to be placed perfectly. And then under each of these, I'm gonna do another one. Again, these are gonna get kind of smaller as I go to the edge. And then in this section, I'm gonna have 2 arches. And my left one is gonna kind of run into the side here. And up above here, I'm gonna do the same thing, arch here. This one's gonna run into the side. And over here, I'm gonna do more arches, and I'm gonna do the same thing. They're gonna get a little bit smaller as I go to the edge. Same thing here. Same thing up here. And then up here, I'm just gonna have 2 rectangle windows. And then right above them, I'm gonna add a little bit of a scalloped design or just a bunch of smileys. And then inside of my arches here, I wanna give it a little bit of depth. So I'm gonna draw the side here. And as I go closer to the edge, it's gonna get fatter. Same thing here, skinnier, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, bigger. And then this one, I'm gonna start with a really skinny one, and then keep getting a little bigger. And here I'm just gonna follow basically the same shape, and then we're gonna go the other way in these. So this one is going to be here. We're going to do the same thing in this arch. Same thing in these. And then as we get closer to the edge, these lines are going to be, you're going to have a fatter section on the right. And then that one I'm not going to do a line because it's just all this part, all the fatter section. I'll do the same thing here. Fatter as you go to the edge. And then in between these and above them, I'm just gonna do little rectangular bumps, but they don't have a bottom. And they don't have a bottom because I am going to connect them. And then underneath, I'm just making kind of more square-shaped U's to connect those. And over here, I'm gonna add a line just straight up and down right there. Add a line here. Add a line here. I'm gonna add 2 lines right here. Get skinnier at the top. A line there, a line there. And then in between all of these arches, I'm gonna have a little line down here. And if you can see it sticks over to the edge some, I'm gonna continue that line. And same over here. And if you accidentally put a line going all the way through your arch, that's okay, you can erase that. So after that, I'm gonna get started with my colored pencil. And if you guys want to add any details right now that I don't have on there, any patterns, or if you want to add a sky or grass or little people, that's up to you. I'm going to leave mine how it is. And I'm going to take my yellow and very lightly, wherever I have these lines on the bottom, I'm just going to color those light yellow. I'm going to sharpen my pencil. All of those little lines have light yellow in them. I'm going to come up to here, some light yellow in there and there, and in here. And then this square here, I'm going to also do lightly with my yellow. And then I'm going to start coloring a little harder, and I'm going to color the main part of my Colosseum. And you guys can probably see that even though I'm using the same colored pencil, these look like two different yellows because I'm coloring much harder here than I did here. And then when I get to this section here, I'm still going to use yellow, but I'm going to do it lightly. Again, I don't want you guys to feel like you have to use the exact same colors I'm using. That's up to you. You are more than welcome to use the same colors, but it's your art. I'm going to move to this section and color it hard with the yellow. Same with this one. Hand is cramping up from coloring too much all at once, you can pause me and take a little break, stretch out your hand. After I'm done with that, I'm going to go on the insides of my little arches. I'm going to color with the same yellow. You guys can see that I left this main archway open. I didn't color that in. put my yellow down. I'm going to switch to my red. And then I'm going to color all the tops, all the top parts of my sections with my red and my little scalloped pattern up here. Add a little line here. Again, if you guys get out of the lines a little bit, that's okay. You will be outlining it and you will hardly even be able to notice that. So after I have that, since I wanted to have a nice kind of dark burgundy red, I'm gonna mix some purple with that red, since I only have a bright red pencil. I'm just gonna color purple right on top of there, and it's gonna make it look a little darker. You could use blue to do this also. Next, I'm going to take my brown. I'm going to color in these two windows and this side of this part of the building. And I know there's already color there, I'm just coloring right on top. And then I'm going to go to the yellow part of these arches. I'm going to color a little bit of brown on top so it looks like a little bit of a shadow. And I'm going to do this side here too. I'm going to go to my next layer and I'm going to do the same thing. Coloring right on top of the color that's already there. And on the side. And I'm going to move down and do the same thing here. And after that, I'm going to move to this section. I'm going to color some brown on top of that yellow, right in the archway. I'm still leaving some white open space there. And then I'm going to move over here and color on top of this yellow. I'm going to move down and do the same thing down here. Only where I have the yellow. And move to this little section and do the same thing. And then I'm going to color in some of these, but I'm not going to color all of them, because if you were to go to the Colosseum and look at it, you can see through some of these windows to the sky behind it, and some of them you can only see inside the Colosseum. So I'm going to go down to this layer, and I'm going to color all these ones brown. And I'm going to move to this section, color these brown. This section I'm going to leave. This section down in the bottom I'm going to color. And then all of these bottom ones are going to get colored in as well. And then up here, I'm going to leave this left one and color the rest of these. And then these two windows I'm going to leave. And if there's any other details that you guys want to add or color in right now, or if there's any lines that you have that you don't like, go ahead and pause me and take care of those, erase the lines you don't want, color in the extra details you do want. And then when you're all done, take your black marker and outline everything that you want to show up really well. And when you are done, sign your work. I hope you guys really enjoyed that lesson. If you did, feel free to hit like and subscribe on our channel. And I just wanted to show you, these are both mine. They're both a little different. They're both really cool. You can tell they're the Colosseum. Your art's not gonna look like mine. It's not gonna look like your friends. I'm sure it's still really awesome. If you wanna have your parents send in pictures of your art, I'd love to see what you guys create. And if you have any requests of things that you want to learn to paint or draw, feel free to leave that in the comments section below. And I'll see you next time.